this is Mrs. Beach from the Prepper's Bunker. Unfortunately, my husband Jake will not be joining us for this episode, but I do have one of my puppy dogs with me. First and foremost, I want to apologize for the delay for the airing of this episode, but we're going to do it today, so let's just jump right into it. So first I want to talk about Sam. In this episode, Sam is still using deadfall traps to catch mice. He's catching about 1 mouse a day though, which is, 30 calories give or take. It seems like the traps is a lot of work for such a small reward. I'm wondering if Sam is still using the shoreline. Is he setting fish traps or digging for clams? It'd be interesting to see what else he is doing for food. And if he is actively using the shoreline, I wonder why it's just not being very, productive for him as it is for some of the other contestants. In this episode, we also saw Sam continuing to have a decline in motivation. He also said that he was basically ready to leave and just wanted to go home, didn't really want to be there anymore. And as we've been talking about throughout the entire commentary, all of our episodes, we always touch on one of the biggest survival aspects is your mind and your determination to be out there. And unfortunately, I feel like Sam's is continuing to decline. I understand that you're going to miss your family, and as I mentioned before, his wife being pregnant obviously would be really hard. But I'm really hoping that maybe Sam will get some more motivation and maybe stay out there a little bit longer. Next, I want to talk about Mitch. In this episode, Mitch had said that if his family was out there with him, his wife and his daughter, he knows that he would be doing better. He would be, more aggressively searching for food and just, better off. And he made up a good point that, what you do for yourself is different than what you'll do for your loved ones, people that you love. Mitch also set up a trout line because he lost his net. Hopefully he set it up well enough where he doesn't have to worry about it being washed away by any storms or the tides. It also doesn't seem like Mitch has a very good understanding of the tides, such as, with Alan, he kind of goes out there when the tide is low. He seems to keep track of that a little bit better than Mitch does. In this episode, we can see that it is extremely cold out, in the low 20s, so below freezing. Alan's gloves actually froze solid from being outside. So it's extremely cold. Alan is still continuing to eat very, very well. In this episode, he had gotten a fish and a duck actually in his net. So he's still eating really, really well. And I think that he is the contestant that is, definitely eating the best. Alan still seems to have a pretty good mindset, seems pretty strong, and I can see him holding off quite a bit longer. So this is Lucas's episode this week. He really accomplished a lot. First and foremost, he moved his entire camp, built a new shelter called a yurt. It's a very interesting looking structure. I like the fact that he can have a fire indoors. Lucas also caught a water bird that was actually trying to eat the fish in his traps. So that was I don't know how he got it. Maybe it got caught in his traps. I'm not really sure. He didn't specify. That's interesting though. Now Lucas, he seems to be the most creative and inventive out of the contestants. First, he built the canoe, and now he built an instrument to keep him occupied. And this episode has really made me kind of second guess Alan winning. I think that Alan, has definitely a good food supply, and I think he's stronger than Lucas mentally. But Lucas is coming up with ways to, pass time. Whereas Alan, if it's cold, he'll just go in his shelter and he tries to entertain himself a little bit. But Lucas seems very inventive. So, I don't know. Maybe Lucas will outstand Alan. I'm not really sure. So I have a couple questions for all of you. My first question is, if you were out surviving or if you were on a lone, where would you get your food supply from? Would you utilize the shoreline? Would you set traps? What kind of traps? Or would you be hunting game? My next question is, given all the circumstance, so location, shelter, mindset, all of those factors, who do you all think is the best off right now? My third question is, since watching this last episode, have you changed your mind at all about who you think will win? I wouldn't say that my mind has completely changed, as I still think Alan could be the winner, but I also think that Lucas could also win. Lucas's mindset is a little off compared to Alan's, but as I said before, Lucas continues to make his situation better each time, with his shelter, building a canoe, a musical instrument to keep himself occupied. So now I'm kind of tossed up between Lucas and Alan. The History Channel released a teaser saying that in the next episode only 2 men will remain. So my fourth question is, which 2 guys do you think tap out next? And why do you think that? Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. We always appreciate your support. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.